The aftermath of renewed Israeli strikes in Gaza, with officials there claiming more than 700 Palestinians have been killed. This since the bombardment resumed after the truce. Biden officials say that they are keeping up pressure on Israel to limit civilian casualties. Let's go right now to NBC's David Noriega. He's in Tel Aviv, Israel for us. So what can you tell us about the escalation, David, there in southern Gaza at this time, and then the efforts to protect civilians that are seeking shelter there?
Yeah, Alex, so the escalation, much of the military campaign in the last couple of days has been focused on southern Gaza. The general expectation is that this is setting the ground for a ground invasion of the south in the way that we saw in the north. As far as the question of protecting civilians, I want to tell you what both sides are saying about that. On the one hand, the IDF and other Israeli authorities say that they are taking all possible precautions to avoid civilian casualties. They're pointing specifically to detailed maps of evacuation zones that they've been trying to distribute in southern Gaza, both on paper leaflets and electronically. They say that they are instructing civilians to leave specific areas they intend to target and go to other places that are safer. The U.S. backs this up. The U.S. says that Israel is doing everything it can to avoid civilian casualties. For example, NSC spokesperson John Kirby spoke to this question earlier today. Here's what he had to say.
They have actually given civilians in Gaza a list, a map. It's online, where a list of areas where they can go to be more safe. There's not too many modern militaries in advance of conducting operations that would actually do that. So they are making an effort to at least inform the civilian population about where to go and where to avoid.
Here's what the other side has to say about this question. First of all, people on the ground in Gaza say the information about evacuation routes is confusing, difficult to access. They say that they've already been displaced once, twice, maybe even 3 times before, and they feel there's nowhere safe for them to go. And then on a deeper level, Alex, there are widespread fears among Palestinians, both in Gaza and in the West Bank, that this military campaign in Gaza will lead to the forced displacement of large numbers of Gazans out of the Gaza Strip. They fear they're being pushed steadily south towards the Egyptian border, and eventually they will be forced over that border into Egypt. The Egyptian government is strenuously opposed to this idea. I should also say that this is not the stated intention of the Netanyahu government. That is not, according to their public statements, what they're trying to accomplish. But it is a widespread enough concern that Vice President Kamala Harris, yesterday after a meeting with the Egyptian president, felt compelled to put out a statement saying that under no circumstances will the United States permit the forced relocation of Palestinians from Gaza. Back to you, Alex.
Absolutely extraordinary. A lot of issues there, that's for sure. David, thank you so much.